Welcome, handful of loyal viewers, and I'd like to start off this review by thanking the, uh, the subscribers that have recently been jumping on board my videos. I'd like to hear comments on what videos have been drawing your attention, though I suspect it might be the D&D videos, which more will be coming soon, I promise. But anyway, thanks for subscribing, and welcome to monitoring my videos. This video, however, is not a D&D video, but as you can probably tell from the title up there, it's another video game review. You might be curious as to whether or not I think the game mentioned in the title is good or total crap. So all in all, I'm going to kick it off with giving Yugioh GX Tag Force a number rating. The number rating I'm giving to it is 5 out of 10. While personally I like Yugioh games, it's one of the few ways I can actually play the game, which I enjoy. I enjoy the game considerably. Yu-Gi-Oh itself, I mean. And I'm also a big fan of the TV shows and of the manga, additionally, as well as the game itself. So 5 out of 10. I would have given it a much higher score, but let's list off the bad points of this game first. Let it be said that I do like this game. I gave it a 5 out of 10 despite the numerous problems with this game. First of all, the thing that ticks me off, the first thing that ticks me off, that's most noticeable early on, is that if you look at the Japanese version of this game, it has voiceovers from at least people that sound like the Japanese voice actors, if not the actors themselves. I didn't look it up. But in the American and European release of this game, they do not have voice actors. They didn't even bother to get people that sounded like the voice actors. I could understand how they could not get the original voice actors, but I don't see how they couldn't get impersonators. That's inexcusable. It takes out all the point in having those animations with the people doing the motions. It's just there with subtitles. Mind you, the subtitles are where you can see the animations still, but it takes all the point in having those out of the game. They might as well not even be there. If you're not going to have voices, take out those animations and put in 3D monster representations like in the DS Yu-Gi-Oh games. It just strikes me as funny. At least they could have catered to the hardcore fans of Yu-Gi-Oh! And gave us the option of having the Japanese voice actors with subtitles. That would be great. I would enjoy that. In fact, I would probably sometimes switch on the Japanese voice actors, even if they had the American voice actors doing voices, just because I like both versions of voice acting. But no, they didn't do that. Next thing that I noticed about this game that I don't like is the overall execution. While it's a nice game and enjoyable, and the format works, and they do several great things with the execution, it feels like the whole game was put together by one of those people that write Yu-Gi-Oh fanfics. You know, those moronic people that barely write anything good, and can't structure a story very well because they're trying too hard to get characters personified that they don't understand. Anyway, the whole thing is executed as if it was written by somebody that, well, like it was not written by the Yu-Gi-Oh GX writers at all. Like, the people who made the show had nothing to do with it. And it was written by people who had barely any understanding of the characters at all. Very sloppy in execution. You can't even understand what time within the first season it takes place in. Some things seem to have happened, but some things that should have happened at that point that haven't seemed to have happened yet. And that's just confusing. Like, for instance, the school duel hasn't happened yet, but Damon is wandering around the school grounds as if he'd been battled already. So maybe it's right before the school duel? No, that's because you're there for a good month and a half before the school duel. Which, admittedly in the show, it's not clear how much time was spent between those two occurrences in the TV series. And you can't really tell from the manga because that never happens in the manga. Manga is totally unrelated in storyline, and I actually like both for different reasons, but like the manga a little bit more, at least for the first season. But moving on, the thing that ticks me off most and takes off the most points in this game is, for a game that focuses on tag duels, which I enjoy that aspect, I love the processing. For a game that focuses on tag dueling, they even put it in the title. You'd think the AI for the characters would work a little better. I mean, in this game you have to have an either identical deck or a deck that feeds off of your partner, or you can't do anything. This is especially true with the Jaden, because his monsters are typically so weak. If you rely on a deck that brings out strong monsters through tributing, you're out of luck, because if through some occurrence your monster gets cleared off the field, the only thing Jaden's going to be putting out there is something that can't stay around until your turn comes back around, so you're never going to get your stronger monsters out. And that's still true if you bring out through fusions, because unless you're using a hero deck, you're not going to be fusing anything either, unless it's straight out of your hand. Another thing that really pisses me off, besides having to build your deck by your partner, is the fact that the AI really does suck. Like, for instance, I was tag dueling with Jaden one time, and we're facing down against a 2,000 power monster, a 2,400 power monster, a monster with 3,000 defense, and another monster with 1,800 power. We had nothing. He has this elemental hero Avian with both of his statistics at 1,000, and he has a cyber jar. And I'm just screaming, place the damn cyber jar. Sure, if they attack it and flip it, it could bring out a swarm of 1,800 power monsters or around that thing, and we could get nothing. But at least it's better than facing down 4 monsters that don't have below 1,800 power. It couldn't make our situation any worse. But no, he sets the Avian in defense position. I mean, what the hell? Why would he place a 1,000 defense monster against that kind of force instead of the cyber jar? Most of the time the AI, when you're just playing in one-on-one duels, it's not apparent that the AI sucks so much. But when you can see your partner's cards and how he's not playing them the right way, it becomes deafeningly obvious that the AI sucks balls in this game. But all in all, I like certain aspects of the game. Like, they start you off with a crap starter deck, but they quickly give you booster packs that give you the potential to develop a strong deck really quickly. And the weakling starter deck is strong enough to win a few duels early on. So all in all, it's a pretty good game. I might recommend it if you can get past the frustratingly terrible AI. It's also on the PS2 under the name of Beginning of Destiny or Evolution, depending on where you live. But anyway, 5 out of 10. Buy it or not. I probably would recommend you getting a Tag Force 2 or 3 if you have a PSP. If you only have the PS2, go ahead and get the first game if you like the concept enough. Signing out.